What are like your few tips you tell people on the first few dates?
When you're left on red, दिमाग खराब हो जाता है.
Yeah.
Is he like swiping on some other girl?
Wedding is a celebration and marriage is what kind of you live
Takes
with.
in. And a man's perspective is usually, I'm worried there's someone better around the corner.
Since you've kind of like obviously like hitched so many people
You were gonna
together.
say
Hooked up people, I was gonna say, I was like, shit, wrong. Sorry, let's. Hi everyone, welcome to the Found Hers podcast. Whether you're someone in love, looking for a relationship, or have just taken a pause from all the dating, this episode is gonna hit home because we're talking about love, relationships, and dating with Cupid herself, Naina Hiranandani. Hi Naina, how are you doing?
Good. Thank you for having me.
I think we're all sold on what love is, the Bollywood style. But what is love?
I mean, for me, love means having an effortless relationship with somebody.
Yeah.
Right? So if I were to really break it down, whether it's a parent or a sibling or a friend or a lover, husband, spouse, it just feels so natural, so effortless, like two pieces of a puzzle fitting together.
And I mean, that's what I also feel love is. I mean, I always thought love was when there's wind, there's song, there's, butterflies in your stomach. But when I fell in love, it was just like it just happened and there was no the drama. But I guess like over time I came to realize that love is like you love somebody because they make you feel, show you a side of yourself that you probably didn't know, or they either complete you in that aspect. What does compatibility mean?
To really break it down, it's when two people are cognizant of each other, right? Who the person is, what do they stand for, what do they believe in, and they can build a foundation, a separate foundation that consists of like shared beliefs.
Yeah.
Right? So it's people mistake again chemistry or even sexual attraction for compatibility.
Yeah.
Right? Like because different people provide you different levels of compatibility. Like you may have a friend that you can spend the whole day with. Right? You will like leave in the morning, come back, and you don't get bored. You're just like, oh my God, we went to an art gallery, then we grabbed lunch, then we did a coffee, then like I almost did dinner, but I came home like I can't have enough of this person. That's not compatibility. That's attraction of some kind, right? I think compatibility is when person A has a certain way of functioning. They are owning it, right? Like who they are, what they believe in. You have person B who is equally independent and, I think guarded about what they believe in. And together, they've come midway. They've come halfway where they're like, I love you and respect you and understand you for who you are. The same is happening. And now, how do we want to do this together?
Yeah.
Right? So there's another insider joke. Like your compatibility is very much tested when you're planning a wedding. Yes. Like so many breakups happen sometimes after a roka or like during a wedding, when the wedding's being planned, because the fights that come up, my parents think we should do this way. And you're just like, oh my God, how do I navigate this? This is exactly when your skills are being exercised.
Yeah.
So you have to know when to sort of cover up or like, there's a situation, right? And it's going downhill. Compatibility is rising above that.
Yeah.
And coming together and saying, look, like this is what matters to us and this is how we want to do it. So whether it's you presenting a front to someone else, to people around you, to family, but it's being like one strong unit, for me, is true compatibility.
Yeah.
Right? Because your interests will change.
Yeah.
Right? When you start dating, you probably both like Asian food. And you're like, it's so great. We both like going to yao chat together. Like, no, it's going to change, right?
Yeah.
It's going to change. Or like we both like watching the same films and stuff. Again, there's this thing of having similar hobbies makes you super compatible. I don't believe in it at all.
Yeah. I don't believe in it.
Yeah, because it will evolve and change, right?
Yeah,
Today you're scuba diving, 10 years from now, who knows?
Yeah.
But what will not change is, whether someone's funny, right? They've got a great sense of humor, whether the approach to life aligns with yours, whether they're able to, like, I have a small test, right? That if someone ever ran up to me and said, "Oh my God, did you hear? This is what your husband did." I should be in a position to say, "That's not true.
Yeah.
That's impossible." Right? I know people can always defy that. That's how well you should know your partner, right? Because you'll see them in the good times, but in the not so good times is when you need to sort of unpack the layers a little bit.
I think for me, compatibility is very similar because so I recently got engaged and just started the wedding planning process. So was told this quite a
Ringing
bit.
bells.
Yeah, like literally was told this, but a very similar experience came to me because I'm like working and hustling and I'm 24/7 hyper and paranoid. But my better half is like zen, like quiet, shant, and like I love a Netflix and chill night, and I'll be like, let's go rage. We're like fully poles apart. So I think my mom till date, like, when she first got to know, so she was just like, how did you fall in love? Matlab, you're so different. And I was just like, I know, I don't have a way to explain it to you. But it came in when this feeling sinked in that, okay, cool, like now we're getting married, we're taking it to the next level. And I had this conversation with a friend, and we were just like, I was just like, oh my God, like, I have to fit my cupboard in his space, and like, how am I going to do this, that, and everything. And it just came to my notice that when it's compromise without feeling the need that you're going to have to like really squeeze yourself in order to accommodate it, that's when you know that there's some sort of compatibility, there's some sort of like rhythm with the person you're getting into. Like the minute I felt that, I didn't tell him for a couple of days, and I was at his house, I was just staring at his cupboard, and he was like, what happened? And I was just like, I don't know how I'll fit in here. And he was like, it's okay, I'll remove all my clothes, put whatever you want here. And I was like, okay, like however you said it, in whatever way you meant it, the fact that that was the first reaction was like, okay, cool, like at least there's some understanding and I'm going to be fine.
100%.
I want to ask you, because you spoke about like how Indians, like, see, at least I was told that, okay, cool, when you find somebody, fall in love, marriage. Like it was the end goal. But you do have a lot of people who do like live in relationships and everything. So when someone comes to like Sirf Coffee, is it only looking for an end goal with marriage or spending their life together, or they do also come just to kind of find someone for like a relationship or dating or whatever they want to call it now?
Yeah. So as a platform, we've sort of highly adapted to this. I think the end goal or the core messaging is find someone, right, who you'd like to love and someone that makes you happy. Now, this can mean different things for different people. So if the youngest client we worked with is like 25. The oldest gentleman I worked with is like 67 on Sirf Coffee. Like I worked with men and women in their 60s, which are almost like my parents' age.
Yeah.
Right? So it kind of sometimes feels like, okay, this is...
How did you navigate with two, like, I mean, of course, young generation.
It just happened out of popular demand. So we worked initially with a younger demographic, which was, I would say, 27, 28, right up to like late 30s was the most popular demographic. Then it became above 40. Then it became above 50 sometimes. And then sometimes like, oh, I'm this person, but I'm 60. And we would say, okay, we'll try, we'll see how it goes. And I mean, just before, arriving here, in fact, I was talking to a colleague about a couple that's actually in their 50s and dating in Bombay.
How cute.
Yeah, like they're both single parents. They've, they have amicable relationships with their exes and they've made a life together. So for them, the end goal wouldn't be marriage, right? It would be compatibility. Or I do know actually someone who was 55 and remarried, through Sirf Coffee and is thrilled. Like, he's like, I want to call her my wife and this is what my goal is. When you're talking about the younger generation, which is like the 20s, 30s, yes, inevitably, if you've not been married before, I would say it's the first thing that you want.
Yeah.
It's something that I notice. Like, it's more of the novelty of a situation, right? The people who want to live in would have maybe had relationships like that and want to cohabit, because I also think that's a great way to get to know someone and also test your relationship.
Yeah.
Today, being very, very frank, if I had the option, I would live with somebody. It's just, I met them, dated, got engaged, got married, but I don't think it's a bad thing because sort of really get to know them. What you do after marriage, you kind of iron out much earlier. And it's actually wonderful. It's a wonderful experience, right? Like you feel like you've built something together. Like lots of couples who live together, the first thing they do is like get a dog.
Yeah.
Because
That's a new thing now. Everyone gets a dog before they get a baby.
Get this dog. Yeah. Can we manage? Can we take care of this dog? How do we become a part of its life? And vice versa. And I think there's absolute wisdom. It's just that I think from a societal message, it's not accepted as much. Like,
still
very
few
be
people
like,
accept
oh my
it.
God, did you hear this person has moved in with this person and blah, blah, blah. But I think it's changing. I think I know lots of couples in India, in Gurgaon, in Hyderabad, who have chosen to live together, and they've had a clear conversation with their parents who are okay with it.
Do parents also kind of get more involved in this process?
So luckily, I would say 99% of the time, we don't deal with this kundli problem, right? Because it is really a problem.
People still ask?
Again, not in I think not in our target demographic, right? They're progressive, they're open-minded. They realize, like, first of all, to fall in love takes like 100, nuances to sort of align. And then when you apply the kundli factor, it's an algorithm, if you think about it. So they're not. They're just, not going down that route.
Not even like before they want to kind of get married, be like, okay, now
Very rarely. Like I had heard of just one instance where it had kicked in, and sadly to a point where it was not not matching, and then the couple broke up. So it was tragic because they had such a robust relationship that was determined by this. So like I'm not a fan of the kundli thing either, because the more you get into it, or the more you tell yourself certain things, right? So it's very it's psychology playing on your head. Tomorrow, if I tell you something amazing will happen to you, I'm telling you this entire day, and at night you'll sleep like with a smile on your face. Like I'll be like, tomorrow is going to change your life. It's just psychological. And then if I said, if you marry this guy or if you marry this girl, XYZ will happen to you. It's just such a shitty way to begin something beautiful. So
especially when you've fallen in love with the person
100%.
and you know the person.
It would have been different if you go via the arranged route, where you're doing this in advance, you're getting it out of the way. But I have known people, what I was trying to say is, like, I've known people who've matched literally 36 on 36, which is the highest, compatibility factor.
Oh my
God. On the honeymoon realized, like, they're not a good match at all. But just like, I want to leave you as soon as possible.
We're just on a honeymoon right now.
Yeah. Like, I remember this guy I met, like, I'll never forget. It was a couple of years ago, but he was of scientific mind, and he's like, I listened to my parents and this is what happened to me. So he's like, now I'm meeting you. Like, he was divorced. He's like, I'm meeting you because I'm going to take ownership over my journey, and I don't want interference on this front. Because clearly it's just, this is what I'm trying to say, right? Like, doing XYZ rituals is not going to necessarily change the trajectory of something. You're doing it for your consolation. Right? You're doing it for a good vibe. You want to start off on the right foot. But it can't be used as a guarantee.
Cool. So you obviously matched so many people. I want to know, like, after the second or the third date, what is one weird request you must have got from someone?
I don't know if these requests are weird, but it's a lot about, like, can you find out how much he likes me? I'm just like, I don't think I can do that because I'm not in the relationship. So it's usually coming from a good place. It's like anxious questions, right? Like, how much do you know about XYZ? So sometimes I have to say, like, I can't do the background check for you to that extent. Why don't you, if you're really worried, like, go to a professional or something like that. But these are like little things. I remember this couple that's now married, and they're lovely. They're super fun and feisty and independent. And I think after, it was a couple of months, like 5-6 months, and they'd spend New Year's together, which to me is also like another milestone, right? Like, you don't spend New Year's Eve with like just anybody. You kind of like, hit that. And she was just like, can you find out how he really feels about me? And I'm like, no, this is just bizarre. But yeah, other than that, I think people figure it out for themselves. So I tell them, like, a great way to get to know someone is like travel with them, right? One trip will tell you so much.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
2
That's your
months of
compatibility
yeah,
test.
yeah. Like 2 months of dating cannot.
Yeah.
But traveling with this person, overcoming adversity, sometimes like, even when you travel, like I've told people, why don't you miss a flight? And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, see how the other person reacts. 'Cause,
Oh.
like, if you have this really, how do you know if you're dealing with someone ill-tempered or angry, right? Or someone who blames you? That is like a test, right?
Yeah.
Whether if someone just turns around and says, this is all your fault, this is why we missed the connection or something, then you kind of know like this is a red flag. So one of the modern dating things that I hate these days are like this whole texting game.
Yeah.
Right? Where people will be like, he didn't message me back in like 72 hours, so I'm gonna block him. And I'm just like, so much could have happened in 72 hours, right? Like maybe family emergency, work thing, something, someone's just feeling down.
Yeah.
The phone has hyper connected you, but in a way left us feeling more isolated, nervous, and anxious than ever.
Yeah.
That is the tragic thing, right? Like when you're left on red, dimag kharab ho jata hai.
Yeah.
You're just like, what do I do now? Is he like swiping on some other girl? Is he like meeting someone else? Like you kind of just spiral into this black hole. And that's where like I need to really tell someone that you have to own your relationship. And if you feel someone messaging you after 5 days is playing on your mental health, tell them that.
Yeah.
Right? Talk to them about it. Say our communication styles are very different.
Yeah. Has anyone asked you to break up with them?
No, we don't. We wouldn't. We would never do that because then I think like that's just like really strange. You should have these conversations in person.
Yeah.
But people don't even do that these days.
Yeah.
They break up over WhatsApp, which blows my mind.
Yeah.
Like I think after a first date, if you don't want to proceed, it's okay to text someone. I've also I remember I was getting to know someone from New York and I sent them a very polite, I think we'd met twice max. Okay. And that to New York. Like I'd come back to India and I'm just like, I'm not feeling it. And he actually called me and he said, I want to have a conversation. And then I felt a little awkward because I'm like, how do you justify why you don't like someone in that? So I felt it was a bit confrontational, unnecessarily. For like 2 dates, I don't owe you an explanation. But I appreciated the fact that he wanted to know genuinely like what didn't work. I think people now, which again, something I really value is like the need to get feedback. That's a very that's a lovely thing. To want to know what you're doing right, but also know what you're doing wrong. Right? Because it's so human and it's a part of all our lives. You're not perfect. Right? But if you don't know what you're not doing right, for them at least,
you can at least make the change.
Exactly. Or understand where they're coming from. I'm not saying you have to drop everything and like become a whole new person. But how do you get context if they don't speak up? So this is why I would never, like, relationships are so complex as it is that it's better if you navigate, you sort of figure out what you want to do, and you should be able to call the shots, right? Whether it is to get engaged to this person or break up with them or get married, it should come from within. It can't be like, my parents were pressuring me and then that's why I did it. Or like, I've heard all things like, oh, someone in the family was on their last breath, that's why I did this. And I'm like, oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
It's just, it's not a, performing under pressure is only good for certain situations. It's not for like, not every situation. Certainly not getting married to somebody.
Not spending like, committing to spending a lifetime with that person.
And it's not like you went to Zara, bought a dress and you want to return it. It is a major commitment, which again, I think sometimes people don't understand. Like who you marry changes the course of your life. It changes how you think. It changes how they think. And if you do, for example, choose to ever have a family and stuff, it will change your entire legacy. So it is a heavy decision. It's one of the most important decisions. If you do it with the right person, you'll be very happy in life. And unfortunately, if you have a hiccup on the way and don't make that decision, there's still, if you can course correct it, great.
You can,
right?
Yeah. What's the wildest feedback you've got after like the first few dates? I'm sure like you kind of like the one person meets like multiple
Oh, I'll
people,
never
right?
forget this. She ate kulfi with a knife and fork. So I don't want to meet her again.
Oh my God.
Or something. It was pizza or kulfi. It was kulfi only. Some kind of, and I'm like, it's like with a full knife, like full cutlery came out, and I'm just like, it's like I don't think she's very grounded.
Oh my God.
And they're like telling us this, and I'm just like, okay. I wonder what happens when you go eat pizza or like go eat pani puri. Like, how can this? Yeah,
Yeah, how can this like
yeah. But this has come up. But other than that, I think people. So we ask specifically, what did you like about this person? What did you not like so much?
Yeah.
Right. So this is when the finer details of
Yeah.
of a date really come out. Like they will appreciate how someone smells. They will appreciate how much they smile. They will
Wow.
appreciate if they were willing to try new things on the menu. These are things that people pick up. And I think like with also with feedback that could be a little negative is usually like, oh, he didn't wait for me until my Uber came. Like usually chivalry related
Yeah.
things or social etiquette. But I thought the kulfi thing was just
Yeah, that's
a bit much to read on a Monday morning and just like TMI and like grow up, man.
I think you shared a lot about like I think everybody who's single watching this episode like probably would be taking notes. But since you've kind of done so much matchmaking, what are like your few tips you tell people on the first few dates, right? Like that can just help you understand the other person because not everybody has the luxury of time when picking a partner, and sometimes you just gotta get to know them quickly. So if I were to ask you, what would be your few tips?
So one is to be open-minded. I think a lot of times we close our minds to something that doesn't necessarily align with us,
Yeah.
which kind of sucks, right? Because there could be a really cool person around the corner, or you've not discovered that layer. Then I often say getting to know somebody is like peeling the layers of an onion. You get to the core much later, so you have to give them that chance. But sometimes like one of our members will say, oh, he's 36. I had said 35 is like the cutoff. And I'm just like, this is not a government, regulation.
You retire after the same
Yeah,
time.
like if he's a year older, but he's really a really good fit for you, you should go on the date. So I think if someone, even if your parent wants to set you up on an introduction, unless there's like major, pushback on certain things that don't work for you, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Have people not met in different avenues? Yes, they have, but you have to go on the date for that to happen. The second is also, I think, don't be transactional, right? This whole like, what do you do? People have asked questions around routines to like, I remember I went on a date with someone who said, I wake up at 6 and then I do my yoga and then I eat aloo paratha at 9 a.m. And then I'm just like, I'm not asking. I never asked for your schedule. Like, what is this? Like, this is my day, like a day in the life of so and so. And I was blown away. I was just sitting there listening and I'm just like, this clearly date number 2 is not happening. So don't make it transactional, make it fun. Life is to be lived. It's not like we're not in prison, right? And we're privileged. I would really say if you're in a position to choose your partner, it is a privilege, right? And it is one of life's greatest pleasures. So enjoy it. Like focus on spending quality time instead of I went on 6 dates.
Yeah.
Right? So quality time, like even if you were in Bombay, I would say instead of these dinners that people love to do, let's grab coffee, let's do dinner, and
Matcha.
yeah, let's grab matcha on Sunday. Like, why not do something interesting? Like maybe go for a cultural, expedition, like hike to BKC, go watch a live show. You'll see a lot of how that person reacts, how you engage. Or like I had a couple that went for a trek.
Yeah.
Like they did a day-long trek at a national park and they really had a nice time. In fact, in COVID, we used to set up dates in the outdoors.
Oh, nice.
So we've done Central Park walks.
Oh.
We've done like pick up your coffee and like, because of social distancing. But engage mindfully. You're more likely to get to know someone better, right? Like even if you want to introduce them to your friends, don't make it like a formal thing and say, come meet my friends, because the other person feels very, am I going to be subject to like attention and scrutiny?
Yeah.
But like you can do group events also in a nice way, right? Like I believe everyone is playing paddle these days.
Paddle and pickle is the new thing.
Paddle and pickle is the new,
Yeah.
thing. So do something like that. You'll make a lot more progress.
Yeah.
Um,
And get to know the person beyond just that date. Like meet and talk.
And you'll know if you can have fun with them, what they think about something, how do they engage in a social environment, right? Like there was this old test that everyone did, like see how the person talks to the waiter at a restaurant.
Okay.
Right now, though, I think everyone's
Yeah, I don't know
ultra
that.
polite, or we all have a tablet. We
Yeah.
don't even talk to the waiter. We're like, I'll have
They are like,
this.
scan the code, order there, pay them.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the way,
Okay.
if you're in a situation and if someone's being super kind about something, that's a green flag in your head. You'll get to know he's probably not doing it in front of you. It's just,
It's just
how
natural.
and how he would behave. So I would say engage in ways that feel more real and more fun rather than, let's go to this new Asian restaurant for the 100th time to like eat the same things. Right?
No, I love that. I think what I just loved about this whole conversation and how you've approached all your cases is it's more focused on the personality and the compatibility. And I truly believe in that because I used to be like a staunch, like, no. I was like, I was just like, no. I don't care. Like, I didn't have a checklist. I really didn't have a checklist. My mom had a checklist, and somehow after I fell in love, I said, hey, it matched. Somewhat matched.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, somewhat. Let me put it that way. It was somewhat matched. I said, okay, at least 5 things out of the 100 matched. That's good. I recently met a sister of mine, and she's quite young, and she introduced me to this term called nanoship.
Okay.
So I was like, what does that mean? She's like, we'll date for 2 days or 3 at the max. We'll get the vibe, whether it makes sense. Then we'll decide to get into a relationship. And I was like, that's like a makeup trial. If I like the artist, I'll get her for the wedding. If I don't, excuse me. So I have a bunch of modern dating terms that I would like to ask you.
I don't know if I'll know them.
I know. So I'm just going to ask you. I will also tell you the meaning of it. Don't worry. I was scarred at what was happening, but I would love to know if you have ever heard them or what do you think they mean?
Sure.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Situationship. Let's start.
Yeah. So that is pretty common. It's where two people are in something, but they don't really know the head or tail of where it's going.
Okay.
It's, I think, the modern lexicon for like semi booty call / you're together but you're not together.
Yeah. You could be booty call, but you could be serious.
But you're nowhere. You're neither here or you're there. I mean, this kind of person texts you at 3 a.m. and says, you up?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
true. Breadcrumbing.
Yeah, breadcrumbing is, I have heard of it, is leading someone on, but then not actually committing.
Yeah.
So I know I've heard of a lot of people doing it where they will woo the person, like court them, take them out, do everything, but then never cross, and never cross that point.
Yeah.
It'll like the minute someone's getting close, they will then pull back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Hansel and Gretel, no? And the breadcrumbs. Yeah.
When I heard it, I was like, what?
Yeah.
What is even this?
And it's a real thing.
It's a real thing.
So people who enjoy the chase or the thrill tend to sort of breadcrumb. But it's an awful lot of time and effort if like eventually,
you're not ready to kind of commit. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Benching.
Putting someone on hold.
Yeah.
Not sure. Yeah.
It's that football benching term that they've made it into this.
Yeah.
Textationship.
You only text, don't meet. Is it? Yeah.
Like getting.
I hadn't heard it before, but
yeah. Stashing.
Having like 4 people on the side, like exploring, like you have a stash. Yeah.
I gotta say, but it's more like, how you have a stash and you keep it hidden.
Oh,
so the person is like, it's never introduced.
Like a secret. Yeah. Like a Netflix show, like, when someone judges you for watching some couple Sharma stuff and they're like, "Maine thodi dekha ye."
Yeah. This is on me, yeah. So roaching is what you said, apparently. That means when you're secretly dating multiple people.
Like a cockroach.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So these terms have come from that. And when I was first told of it, I said, what do y'all do? So I'm in a textationship with this person. And I was like, that's normal texting. Like, what do you mean? Like,
But
what
they never
do you
meet.
mean? Yeah, they never meet.
It'll always be like, oh, next
It's like a
week,
pen
next week.
friend, right? Like, I mean, I don't know. I was just very amazed at.
It's like that. I think there was a Netflix documentary on this Sweet Bobby about this lady who was in an online relationship with someone for a decade without ever meeting.
Yeah.
That's just crazy. Like, how can you not know you're being scammed? Like, if you don't see it, hear it, feel it, it's not happening.
Like, I guess there are like few delusional people. There's something on that also. Delusionship.
You think this is a relationship, but in reality, it's not.
Yeah.
Like you're delulu.
Yeah,
they
like
say.
you're delulu, I guess. It's more like you imagine or idealize a relationship, but there's no relationship. So I mean, it's like basically normal feelings that I think we felt, but they're all just given terms.
It's one-sided,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah, very one-sided. Love that.
I
we're
know a
figuring
lot
this
of
well.
women do this. They'll go straight to, I met this guy on a date, and I'm thinking like, will Greece be ideal for our destination wedding? And I'm like, I'm not even proposed to you. Relax.
Oh my god, they've reached like the destination.
They've reached somewhere else. So
Yeah.
right, will our kids look like this or look? I'm like, ये शादी नहीं हुई है what?
But yeah, I think dating relationships have just changed so much. And I feel nowadays, like, I still truly feel that love is a very sacred feeling. And nowadays, it's just reduced to all of these different ships that they are creating. But still, true love is what, like you said, there's compatibility, there's compromise, there's compassion that kind of builds something for you. I think the last question before we close, something that you'd like to share with us about Sirf Coffee. Like, you started this. What is your main goal? Like, what is it that you want to bring in the change in the whole dating relationship scenario?
Yeah. So Sirf Coffee was actually a passion project to start with. And then it became a company and grew into this whole movement and something bigger. And it's been 15 years almost since we've been doing this. So we've seen the evolution, right from the Panditjis to the biodatas to the kundlis to the .coms to dating apps, right? Like literally seen a whole gamut of change. But I think what hasn't changed, like you said, is like we all want love, right? And we all want to have that with the right person. And we're here to facilitate that in a way that still feels meaningful and curated, right? So I still believe that just because you went out on 15 dates, right, doesn't mean you're making progress in your relationship. For me, progress is I met this person, I want to see them again and they've got me excited. And I think that's not happening on other platforms is because there's too much. There's like the paradox of choice.
An algorithm, kind of ruling it completely.
It's a marketplace.
Yeah.
Like you said, today if I swipe, if everyone pulled out the app and swiped on like 50 people, like that makes them feel good. It's a dopamine hit. But actually, none of them have been forged. You've not forged a social connection with any of them. So I think Sirf Coffee is still old school in that sense where you show up in real life, you make an effort, you dress well, you groom yourself. Because like that seems to be another thing now where people want to roll out of bed and, say, this is me, this is
who I am, accept me.
Yeah. But I feel like you've got to make an effort and get to know somebody, right? So when you sit with them, have a coffee or have a drink, you never know where it could go. And you have a real matchmaker to sort of help you optimize the search, right? So you're not spending time figuring out, has this person been married before or not? Do they smoke or not? What's their background? Like there's somebody who's kind of curated and had a look at all of that. Your job is to sort of get to know them and have fun, right? And, the testament to the whole experiment has been, I think, thousands of weddings now. I just read about one of our clients who got married maybe 10 years ago and just had a baby. So they just posted something and it was adorable because it makes you feel good in a way where this is impact, right? This is positive impact on someone's life. And even if you don't find your partner, I think it's a great learning exercise. Right?
You get to know yourself as well.
Absolutely. The thing is, Indians, we haven't dated a whole lot, right? It's been like, meet the guy, get married, do a roka and figure it out later. But we have to work backwards, because it's so important to know who you are, what works for you, what doesn't. And you can only do that if you meet different people.
Yeah.
So I love that the platform's actually chilled out, where the premise is serious, but you don't have to, you're not meeting at Sea Lounge at the Taj with 16 relatives, right? It's more
more casual.
It's just a coffee.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. Thank you so much. I think this was really fun and insightful. I love that how you view love and how you view relationships. I love the fact that it's old school because everything modern has just made everything so little, but life is so much more. And like you said, love is life. You're spending a whole life with them. So yeah, thank you for this. I hope you enjoyed.
I definitely did and learned about all these new ships that are sailing or have sailed. So it was definitely really fun.
Okay, thank you. Hi everyone. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'm feeling the love and I'm feeling the excitement, and I hope you're too. If you're someone single or looking to mingle, this is literally the one for you. Stay tuned for our next episode. Please like, share, subscribe if you like this one.